Okay, so let's try this again. Hey guys, how you doing? Christian here today with a Pi AMA and price discussion on Pi Day. So happy Pi Day to everyone. As you might have noticed, new streaming setup, and with that, we probably will have a few more streams coming up in the future. Anyway, yeah, so the streaming setup is not perfect yet, which means a few things might take a moment longer than I actually want them to take. And there, we need to log in 1 second. Yeah, so just doing a few things on the side real quick. Google that one. And yeah, so if you have specific questions about Pi Network, you can already share them in the chat. We're also going to wait a few minutes for more people to tune in as they get the notifications for the stream. Yeah, like we already tested the audio levels before, so yeah, like that should be fine. And we're back in a second. I just have to get to the other room to grab my phone to confirm my login with Google. So be back in a second. So as promised, here I am again, and for some reason now the whole chat thing is not working anymore. Okay, let's check that if I can get that back. Docs, chat, okay. Okay, reloads, yeah. Don't forget the poll that's in the chat, so about if you already passed KYZ or not. And yeah, so those are the things to take care of. So yeah, like prepare your questions if you have specific ones. Other than that, as mentioned, we're gonna cover in a second what's been going on with Pi Network, like how far we've come, what we're still waiting for, and as mentioned, some price discussions, since there seems to be, at least from my perspective, a lot of misconceptions about the price of Pi coin. Yeah. And yeah, not sure if the guys are still here that texted earlier in the chat. So love from Bangladesh, bro. Love your videos. Yeah, thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching them. Whoop whoop. Yeah, hi Beats by Water Sign. Sam Roy says, hoping to know more on this. Yeah, I'll do my best. But besides the stream, I've also already had or published, I think, 26, 27 videos about Pi Network. So they should answer most of the questions, although the older videos also might contain a little bit outdated information. So it would make sense to actually watch them if you watch them in the right order. I'm actually quickly gonna grab the Pi Network playlist, copy link, and that should be everything in order. Does it share that? Is that working? Okay, yeah, now it's working. Yeah, so that playlist basically contains everything I've published about Pi Network, and if you watch it in order, I said some of the older videos are outdated, but as you go through the videos, you should actually learn about the changes that happened. Yeah. Okay, where do we start? So let's start off by, I saw a couple of posts, and I'm gonna share my screen with you guys in a second so you can also see that better. Yeah, there've been a couple of posts about people like expecting that maybe the mainnet will be announced on Pi Day. And there's just something wrong with that because we are already on the mainnet. So of course there's like a lot of users that still have to pass KYZ and they have a mainnet wallet already set up, but no coins migrated. But still there are also, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of users that already have coins migrated to their wallet, or actually more than 1 million users. And they basically are already on the mainnet. The only difference or differentiation there is, we have an enclosed mainnet, which is what's currently going on, and what people are waiting for is the so-called open mainnet. The difference being, or the most prominent restriction or difference, is that during the enclosed mainnet, you are not allowed to buy or sell Pi coins in exchange for fiat or other cryptocurrencies. And I would wager that things like gift cards and so on are kind of like a gray area, yeah? And the reason for that is, with the enclosed mainnet, the Pi core team actually wants to make sure there is kind of like a lot of use cases for Pi coins, because if they from day one would say, hey, now we're listed on whatever this and that exchange and you can sell your Pi, there would be so many people that just don't see any long-term use for Pi and would try to dump it, and the project after years of development would just be dead on day number one. Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna try to switch here, screen share, that should be it, yeah. If we look on the Pi blog, which by the way, you should check out from time to time, you can find that when you go to the Pi website, and there's a button called blog, yeah. And there is a post about the enclosed mainnet period Q&A, and yeah, what can Pi pioneers do with their Pi, and that's the important part. Pioneers are encouraged to trade goods and services for Pi using their mainnet wallets. Yeah. On top of that, there are already applications and new ones are coming pretty much regularly. Many of them are crappy, to be honest, but still it's work in progress. So that you can open in the Pi browser, like for example the Pi Chain Mall, where you can directly integrate or link your Pi wallet and then use certain goods or services. There's, for example, a webinar solution out there that basically allows you to, if you would have a training on how to do something, then you basically can, like use that webinar platform, post your video there, and then other pioneers could pay whatever amount you define in Pi to get access to that video. Yeah. So one important thing is we are already on the mainnet. The only difference is we right now have a restriction as to what you can do with your Pi. You're allowed to use them. So if, I don't know, like you want to sell your old Game Boy and are willing to accept Pi for it, that's perfectly fine. If you want to buy my Pi coins directly, that's not fine. Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna quickly catch up with the chat, and then we're gonna move forward and probably cover a lot of topics that you anyway want to see. Now, just have to, which scene was it? Chat room, that one. Yeah. So, still doing a lot of things manually because I just yesterday finished building the whole thing here. So, blah blah blah. Can I scroll here? Oh yeah, I'm scrolled up. Okay, so. Helen Fang. So hello everyone. Yeah, that I didn't greet before. Why I didn't get a KYC slot yet. Check the playlist that I shared 3 messages above you, and one of my latest videos was about the KYC issue that explains it in every detail. Pi price, we get to that. Hi, good day. Yeah, good day everyone. Pi network to the moon. Yeah, it will take some time. Pi listed price. So if you're referring to the price shown on some exchanges, I made a video about that as well. So just check that video. It covers in detail what that listing means or doesn't mean. How can you change your number? As far as I know, there's currently no way to change your number. So just to be safe, just link a Facebook account instead. If you don't have a Facebook account, just create one only for the purpose to link it to your Pi account. So you can use it to access the account if you ever lose access to your phone. Pi core team should be bold to say yes, together we will be able for open mainnet on June 28, 2023. Yeah, like that's not gonna happen. Like we're gonna get into that, but like the open mainnet is still some time away, and it's good. Like it's nothing bad, it's really good, and we're gonna cover why it's good as we go. Yeah. Pi network, no update today. No, not that I've seen. Pi listed. Yeah, please. Okay, it's the same. Theo Raman, please don't spam the chat with the same message multiple times. It just makes it harder for me to catch up. Yep. So please have they launch Pi network launch. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, covered that already in the stream and in all prior videos. Check out my playlist if you are really completely new to the project. Watch what I've published so far, and it will enlighten you a lot. How much the price going to be for 1 Pi? We're going to dive into that. Lots of people, by the way, hello. Yeah, usually Pi content is very popular, which just speaks for the project itself. So, but it's also a little bit overwhelming in parts when the chat then gets too much. How about the person who is under the age of 18? Will they be able to do KYC? There have been talks that there will be like a parental consent KYC, so your parents will have to provide consent. That's something in progress, so it will take some time. And yeah, so I wouldn't give up, but if you're smart, already create an account for your father or your mother or both of them, and in their name, of course, and then just at some point pass KYC for them as well. If you're even smarter, use your nickname as the referral for those 2 accounts. Any updates about Pi? Nothing specifically today, but we're going to cover a lot. Yeah, I know an elderly person that had KYC but didn't complete it because they didn't know what that was doing. So they're wondering if they're going to get, yes, there will be another slot. So like they basically, if people are worried about having a KYC slot, they should just once per week open the Pi browser app, and then in the Pi browser go on the Pi KYC thing, and either tells you there is no slot or eventually tells you there is a slot. Yeah, so but everyone will get their chance. Yeah. Where did I miss? Akashi. Yeah, so Akashi said lots of people. Hi Akashi, our number one viewer and community member. So if I would have a medal, I would give it to you right now. Is there a way to recover my account through an email? If nope, not that I know of. There is actually, we're going to jump into that, like the #1 place. I mean, you can obviously ask all your questions always in the comments on my videos, and I'll answer what I know, but I also don't know everything. But there's also the Pi Network subreddit on reddit.com, which I will show you in a second, since it's very, very useful for a lot of things we want to cover today. And there you can also go and share questions, or even better, before you post your question, use the search function, because there's likely already 10 posts, people asking the same thing with already answers to it. Yeah. What to do, since I didn't mine for a long time and don't know if I missed KYC, just start mining again. And as I said like a minute ago, once per week, Pi browser app, and there go to kyc.pi and see if you have a slot. Hi, anyone know Pi price? We'll cover that. When will the mass KYC? Well, we technically already have the mass KYC. Oh, alert box is wrong. So thank you, whoever just subscribed. I didn't see the name fully show up because I had the layers wrong. Sorry for that, but thank you anyway. And yeah, so we already have mass KYC. It's just not mass enough, let's say it like this. So there are like more than 30 million or more than 33 million users. So anything that's mass and processes like 1,000 applications per day or a couple thousand per day is still not enough to actually make like fast progress. But that's also why the Pi core team has their KYC as like the #1 priority. So nothing to worry about here, just patience is needed, which is nothing bad. We'll get to that because it goes hand in hand with it doesn't matter if the open mainnet happens today, which it won't, or in a month, which it won't, or in a year, which it might. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Pi price, KYC, what should you learn from High Dollar you can relate with Pi? Totally different project. Might make a live stream about Pi in the near future, but I'm not going to dive into that today because like there will be so much to cover with Pi Network alone. What I want, in case somebody's wondering, like Irina and I, we're both like, so I'm high platinum holder, she's high gold holder, and we're happy with the high card. And yeah, like, so we're still invested in the project, have no reason right now to change that investment. And yeah, but that's going to be it. By the way, at this moment, like I totally forgot initially, as usual, you know, like everything that I say in this video / live stream is my personal opinion and in no way financial advice. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions and make your own decisions. Meaning I can also be wrong when I say something, and it means you also should do some, you know, like if something seems too good to be true or so, like do a little bit more research. And if I'm wrong, feel free to provide whatever information you find to correct me so I also learn and get better. Yeah, so Pi price, yeah, we'll get to that. Stop asking for the Pi price. I said we get to that. The more often you write Pi price in the chat, the longer it takes me to catch up with the chat and actually get to it. So yeah, so didn't receive KYC slot, as mentioned 2 or 3 times already in this short stream. Just once per week, Pi browser, Pi KYC or kyc.pi and see if you got one. Just be patient. Yeah, we get to the price topic. Thank you, sweetie, for pointing it out. Phone, Facebook, email verification is must for Pi migration. No, like the email verification is part of the process, if I recall it correctly. So like I said, that's the point where like I'm not 100% sure, because for me, my KYC is already like more than a year ago. But phone and Facebook is basically for account recovery. So you forget your password, you can use, if your phone number is verified, you can get a code or basically to reset your password if you forgot it, or use Facebook to log in. So yeah. I locked 100% of my Pi balance for 3 years so that I can get a boost. Is that a correct decision? That's something you have to decide for yourself. Basically, if you believe in the project, and locking things up longer obviously means you get more Pi, which is great. If you don't believe in the project, then no lockup, because you want to use and spend and sell your Pi whenever you can. Makes more sense. So it really comes down to each individual. Personally, I locked up 90% for 3 years, and simply because I needed some Pi available to make some videos about spending Pi, which are also in the playlist that I shared earlier that you can find on the channel if you go to playlists and then Pi Network. Yeah. KYC pending for a long time. I just made a video about it recently, so check that out. It covers the topic specifically. Yeah. Almost missed disclaimer. Yeah, Kashi. Yeah, like, yeah, well, but I know it by heart, so I haven't submitted any documents for KYC. Well, yeah, then you probably still are waiting for a KYC slot. How are you so sure it won't list today? Because it won't happen simply based on the it's a very easy thing. So the whole purpose of the enclosed mainnet is to give Pi a chance to develop use cases, so that once Pi launches, less users are, oh, I'm going to sell my Pi, but more users are, hey, shit, there is this one service that I can pay with Pi, but only with Pi, and I want to use that service, so I have to buy Pi coins, which means the only way or the only point where we will have an open mainnet is with more use cases, which means it cannot happen right now because while there are some use cases, which we're going to go into once I'm caught up with the chat, if you stop asking for the price, then so once there are some use cases, then we will get to the open mainnet. That's why it won't happen now. It won't happen in 2 weeks or 2 months from now. Yeah, it's not going to take forever, but it will take time, and it's actually good. The longer it takes, it means the more use cases there will be. Yeah. Where was use case? Won't list today. The mainnet is already launched. Just start the stream from the beginning. Covered that already. Hype is decentralized. Why is there a need for KYC? This is normal. Blah, blah, blah. It's very simple because if there would be no KYC, then you would just, or I would just create like, spin up my Android emulator and create 200 accounts, 2000 accounts, and simply use them as my referral, and suddenly I would get way more Pi. So KYC is the only way to ensure that each human being only gets the Pi that one user can mine in the time. Yeah. And even KYC is not foolproof because there you could also with like fake IDs and stuff like that. So that's why the Pi core team spends so much effort on that whole part, because it's really the segment, you know, like 99% of people are like straight errors and they just create their account and mine. But there's the 1% of people that always tries to scam and get an advantage and so on. And that's why we have KYC. Yeah. Pi Chain Mall is definitely not fake. You can buy products from there, but keep in mind you're buying them from individual vendors. So it means that there might be you buy something, it doesn't get delivered, but they also only release the funds once the shipping has been confirmed and so on. So as long as you check your order status, and then when you get a tracking number, actually check if it's working and legit and so on, the risk is very little. Yeah, but it's definitely a legit platform. It just has a horrible user interface. Yeah. Why do we keep KYC under review? Same answer. Check out the video I made about that specific topic. I mean, it has a huge thumbnail that says KYC issues or so you cannot miss it. Yeah, you can also just in the YouTube search enter Christian Rauchenwald Pi Network KYC, and you should find it. Like, I don't know, 6 minutes, just answers about the KYC flow and everything. Yeah. When will be mainnet? Already answered that like a minute ago. Is it safe to send a picture of your ID to verify for your wallet? Well, I did it. More than 1 million other people did it. But it's for you to decide if you trust the project, the company behind it, the team behind it, and so on to do it or not. Yeah, how can I sell my Pi coin? That's the #1 question, how to get banned on this entire channel, because if you are too lazy to actually do a little bit of research or even pay attention to notifications, then I'm not going to waste my time on you. Blah, 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 love Pi. No, obviously Amazon doesn't accept Pi because Amazon doesn't accept any cryptocurrency. Yeah. If you're referring to my video that I made 2 years ago about getting an Amazon package with Pi that was using a third-party platform called the Pi Lifestyle Community, also something we're going to jump into later in the stream. Yeah, Pi Open Mainnet, we already covered that. As a validator, I'm not getting any applications at all. I think they stopped the human. I don't think they stopped it. I think, so Akashi, I think like each new user that becomes a validator gets like 20 validations or so. And then if you stay active, you get more, but it also comes down to your country. Like, so there are validators in Vietnam that verified thousands of users because it's a huge community there. Whereas like validators in Germany hardly ever get any new validations because the community is smaller and the number of validators is relatively big. So if there are, so if there are new KYC slots for people in Germany, then those get distributed very, very fast. Yeah. So can send the international message to recover my forgotten password Pi account. Well, you definitely can. You just have to figure out how to properly send a message to an international number. Either your contract or prepaid plan doesn't allow it, so you have to talk to your phone provider, or you're not entering the number properly. And yeah. So Irina shared the video about the KYC issues. So everybody that's wondering about KYC stuck, KYC taking for months, why I'm not getting a KYC slot and whatnot, check out that video. Maybe put it on your watch later list. And yeah. Can we expect to be Pi to be the next Bitcoin? No, like, because it's totally different. Bitcoin was the first big cryptocurrency, the first one on the market, and it's basically really, really big, but it doesn't really have a use case. It's just a big thing out there that everyone knows, whereas Pi Network is like, yeah, like has a way bigger supply, is distributed way further, so it's more decentralized, and yeah, aims to fill a completely different role. Yeah, still have some Pi that left that not transferred. How do I transfer? You wait. Like there will be automated migrations in the future. But like for a lot of questions regarding Pi Network, the simple answer is you wait until the core team had the time to develop that part. Yeah. Pi project will be like High Dollar, no, totally different, because High Dollar aims to be a non-for-profit banking platform that connects crypto and regular banking seamlessly. Like, again, I don't want to go too much into High Dollar because Pi Network will take up too much. We already are 20 minutes into the stream and I haven't covered anything that I wanted to share. But so real quick, Pi Network is a cryptocurrency in a crypto wallet. High Dollar is like a centralized trading platform, like an exchange, but that also has banking services. Like we have our high IBAN bank accounts, which are like exactly the same or similar to the regular bank accounts that we have in Germany and in the rest of Europe. So, and we have high debit cards where we get cash back and so on. So like totally different things, like apples and oranges. Yeah. You two are the only channel that is thorough and consistent. Very much. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Spin out Pi coins with an emulator. Why don't other decentralized coin holders do such a thing for other decentralized? Not how this works, like not even remotely how this works. Yeah. Check out the video, look for who is behind Pi Network and Christian Rauchenwald on YouTube. It's like a 45-minute video that will clarify so many things that you may not know yet. Yeah. But to answer that really quickly, if I would want to mine Bitcoin, I would need to run a miner on my, for example, computer, which technically my computer cannot mine Bitcoin, but it can mine. Yeah, or let's simplify that. So if I would want to buy Bitcoin, I would have to buy an ASIC miner, which is a dedicated device that costs $2,000 to $3,000 and basically uses a couple thousand watts in electricity running. And I would have to have that thing run, and then it makes complicated calculations to mine Bitcoin. Yeah, which means if I want to mine more, I need more of those devices, which means I would have to invest a fortune, and my electricity bill would kill me. Yeah. For Pi Network, you are not mining. You push a button in the app, and then your balance in the app increases, and that's what happens in the app. And then you have your mainnet wallet, and the Pi core team already created the 100 billion coins that exist, although they are locked away. And then when you have your migration, basically the amount that you earned or mined by pushing a button in the app is then from that 100 billion pile moved into your wallet. So there's no mining. So there's no resource that's wasted or used for this, which means just spinning up 100 fake phones would be an easy solution. But if we talk about other cryptocurrencies that are, for example, proof of work, like Bitcoin or like Ethereum used to be until they switched to proof of stake, then that's the difference. In one, you only press a button and some in-app counter increases, and then eventually you get the actual coins transferred into your wallet that already exist. And in the other, you actually have to burn through electricity because you have hardware that does calculations to actually mine the coins. Yeah. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Can I delay application since it's slow to approve? If you submit proper documents, and I would recommend if you use an international passport, it's not really slow to approve. Yeah. So also check out my KYC video that should clarify that. Yeah. What is the price by? Please stop asking that. I just cannot catch up. Yeah. And especially stop spamming that question or you will be gone from the chat. Blah, blah, blah. Why haven't they posted today? Well, they might still post later. There is something called time zones, or they might not post anything today for whatever reason. Yeah. Second migration, nope. Currently, the team is for sure focused on improving the KYC process, which already has the one initial migration. And I guess only after that will they work on the follow-up migrations. Doesn't make much sense to have that small part of that migrated and then spend resources to give those users more coins in the wallet when all those users don't even have coins in their wallet at all. Yeah. Do I think mainnet will open this year? Honestly, can't say. I rather would prefer if it's not this year. That I can say, and we will see why once I finish or once we continue. I try everything, still can send the international message to recover the forgotten password. Please help. I cannot help you because what am I supposed to do with your phone? Like, I don't know your phone. I don't know which country you're in, your phone provider, or anything like that. You'll just have to figure out, like, talk to your sorry for that. Talk to whoever is your phone provider. Ask them for help. They can tell you why you're not able to send a message to a specific number. Yeah. Carbon browser is part of Pi. not that I know of. Can't find a YouTuber that speaks about Pi like you. Thanks for the info you give us. You're very much welcome. Do you think OM network is a backup of Pi network? Never heard of OM network, so don't know. Pi works on which blockchain? Pi works on their own blockchain, which is a clone or a fork of the Stellar blockchain. So they use the very, very efficient blockchain and basically built their own version of it, which is also why, unlike other projects that just are launching tokens on existing blockchains, the whole Pi network thing took longer. Yeah, I don't know if or what announcement there will be for Pi today. I had locked 6 months 50%, but have not seen the bonus balance drop in, or is it increased? It's increased in mining rate. So for those 6 months, you get that every day you push the button, you have a higher mining rate, yeah, by whatever factor I told you when you set it up, yeah. I use my state ID, live in the US, and KYC. Yeah, like in general, since the whole KYC thing uses an AI, it means the more data set, so of something specific it had, the better it's trained on it. So that's why I'm saying international passport would probably be the best bet, because they have a machine readable code at the bottom, and every country has a passport, which means the AI likely has seen like 1 million of those, and therefore it's likely to pass you faster than if you use your small local country, I don't know, driver's license, which probably anyway doesn't get accepted, but you know, you get the point. And since the US is a really, really big country with probably also a lot of users there, so I guess US specific IDs, so like your state ID, are probably also more likely to get recognized. Or in general, IDs that have machine readable code. So if you look at your passport, you have like your picture, your name and everything, and at the bottom there's like some random characters, and then basically there is some strings that are basically your name, birth date, and some other stuff. So, which makes it easy for the AI to read the information and confirm it, yeah. Still working away and keeping us informed. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, message in Russian or Ukrainian for Irina. How do I change my name on the Pi app? Well, you can only, so new users have like 2 weeks to make sure, and during the time it's also shown in the app, like change your name or whatever. So you have 2 weeks when you sign up to make sure your name is matching. Now, additionally to that, there used to be a name change appeals process. However, I think that process is no longer active. So that used to be at a time, like 1 or twice things. Yeah. Anyway, best place to figure that out is to check out the Pi Network subreddit. We're gonna visit that in a second as well. If you guys let me catch up with the chat, and use the search there. And if already people ask, check the answers. Otherwise, create your own post and ask. Yeah. If you have a completely wrong name that doesn't match at all with your ID, and you missed the 14-day window, well, then you will not get through KYC. You just can basically start a new account and make sure you use the right name. Yeah. So, hope me and you become internet memes for buying games with Pi in the future. That would actually be cool. Yeah. Any idea what? So like the Bitcoin pizza thing. Yeah. Any idea what to expect Pi announcement today? I don't expect anything. Your application starts with, yeah, check the KYC video that I made, Hassan. So it was already linked before. Irina might share it again. Stormcloud and did Pi Network launch mainnet today? No, mainnet already launched like, I don't know, more than half a year ago. Yeah. So again, rewind the stream to the beginning. There we cover that part. At this rate, Pi core team is a joke. Well, then just uninstall the app, do something else with your time. If you don't appreciate all the effort that went into building their own blockchain with their own node software, building their own AI-supported KYC solution, then yeah. Past KYC a year ago, everything is completed. People need to understand Pi is the future of currency, so stop asking about the price. Doesn't matter, fiat currency is dead. Yeah, I think it will take longer time. So not that I disagree, but the problem is like, when you are like, doesn't matter if it's Pi Network or cryptocurrency in general or whatever, like passive income or cashback, we tend to surround ourselves with people that have a similar mindset. So while many of your friends might also be into crypto or Pi Network or other things, so same interests that you have, a lot of people don't. So like, for example, for me, since I'm living in Germany, my relatives are in Austria and so on, so many of them are not good with English and so on, but our channels are in English. Most of them don't care about crypto. Most of them don't bother with things like Pi Network and so on. The majority of the population out there just has no clue yet about crypto. And for crypto to really replace fiat currencies, there needs to be a higher rate of adoption. Yeah. Now, Pi Network's goal is to change that, but it's not something that happens in a year or so. Yeah. Blah blah blah. Oh my God, you guys are just asking so much. I don't get to share. Okay, so I'm gonna read another like 10 messages. The last one is from PF, and then we're gonna actually continue with the stream for a bit, and I'll show you some things before we go back to the chat. Yeah. Any idea when validators will get their Pi for validations? After, I don't know, I would say in a year or so. Like I think the Pi core team will now improve the whole KYZ process itself, and then when the KYZ process is improved, then it will work on the migrations logic so that the future migrations work. And then with that, probably there might already be the rewards for the validations. Yeah. We are already on the mainnet. What if, I passed KYC and everything, waiting over 14 days, balance isn't in wallet. So check your mainnet checklist. Like if your 0.6 is not yet done and so on, 7, 8. So you have to complete the entire mainnet checklist and then it should eventually transfer. Very often the answer to problems that you guys have is really just be patient and wait. Like there are already more than 1 million pioneers that have their balance migrated. So it definitely works. So it really just takes time and patience. There's no need to worry or stress about it. Personally, I think the later you get your coins, the better off you are because you're not tempted to waste them on stuff. Yeah. But no, I didn't say license is not accepted. I think driving license might not be accepted, but that's my personal opinion because in Austria and Germany, a driving license is not an official ID. Yeah. So, but my KYC verification is so long ago, so I don't remember if the driving license there was an option. So honestly, don't nail me down on that. Probably it is accepted. Again, like I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. Yeah. What about pioneers whose KYC has been pending? Check out the video I made about KYC issues specifically. I want to know if Pi NFT exists. I think there is a Pi app. So like something developed by a third party that works in the Pi browser that is an NFT marketplace, but I haven't checked it out. And the last message for now, is there a chance of Pi becoming a stable coin? No, like where would the backing coming from? A stable coin means if I want to have like $1, one Pi coin, then, and there's 100 billion Pi coins in existence, somebody would have to put $100 billion in whatever, like bonds, cash, or whatever other form in a reserve account. So Pi will not become a stable coin. Like that's just not going to happen. Yeah. Now, anyway, with all that answered, again, I will get back to the chat later, but you see, we don't get to anything if I just answer the chat. Quickly back to the screen share. So one important thing that I want to cover today, and that is like the price of Pi, because I constantly see messages of people, how can I sell my Pi? What's with the Pi exchange listing? Again, the exchange listings I've covered in a separate video, so we're not going to talk about that. But more specifically, if we actually going to quickly circle to YouTube, new computer, so nothing, channel, or that's studio. Anyway, go to my channel and so I've published a video or two about where I'm spending Pi coins. So here's one where basically Rena bought herself Hogwarts Legacy for the Xbox with Pi coins. And here's one where I bought myself Elden Ring for the Xbox with Pi coins. Yeah. And what I noticed is that many people seem to be short-sighted in terms of the value of Pi, because I think in this transaction, I paid one Pi coin 20 cents or so roughly, and here it was like 20 or 25. And then people complain about, yeah, that's too cheap, but it actually is not, because as mentioned earlier, so right now the whole purpose of the enclosed mainnet is to trade Pi for goods and services, and which basically requires two kinds of people. It requires the people that want to spend their Pi, which there are plenty of, that ask, how can I sell my Pi, blah, 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 and so on, yeah. And it requires another kind of people, and that are people that believe in the project and are willing to accept Pi coin, although it officially doesn't have a value because it cannot be traded anywhere as a payment, yeah. And now, obviously, it would be nice if Pi would be worth $1,000, $10,000, $1 million per Pi coin, yeah. But who out there, like all the people that I want to sell my Pi coin, or this is too cheap, how many of them would be willing to accept and buy one Pi coin for me? I mean, I'm not selling it because it's not allowed, but to accept Pi at that exchange rate. So there is kind of like a disconnect between people want to see a high value when they spend their Pi coin, but people that accept Pi coin obviously want to see a lower value. And the right now lower value is good. And sorry, guys. Mohamed Haj, thanks for subscribing. And the lower value is good for a very simple reason, because let's imagine we would have directly the open mainnet. So then everybody would sign up at, I don't know, let's say Binance, to either buy coins or to sell them. And there would be thousands of people that just want to sell their coins. Because if we, let's look at another project, obviously completely different, but still /exchange. So Alpha Network works in a similar way. You push a button once per day and you get some Alpha coins from a limited 500 million supply, and they launched their own exchange. I made some separate videos about that and so on, blah, blah, blah. But here you can see the result, what happens. You have 108,000 sell orders, so 108,000 times people that try to sell their coins versus 1,000 that actually want to buy Alpha coin, yeah? And the result is that initially the chart doesn't go far enough back, but initially there was like a price of like multiple dollars, and now we are looking at a half a cent, yeah? So if we would have directly the open mainnet, this is what would happen, and those people that want to cash out would get a few pennies or a few dollars, and those people that actually believe in the project would be disappointed because suddenly even thousands of Pi coins would be worth nothing, yeah? So having the low value now is great because it allows everyone that wants to get rid of their Pi coins to actually do those that believe in the project a favor. Because when we circle to Reddit, and on Reddit, so reddit.com, actually, let's open a different Reddit, and there let's go to the subreddit called Games for Pi. There are multiple like that, which I also covered in a video. So dismiss. I'm not sure if we see. Okay, let's go to a different subreddit that shows the prices called Local Pi. Kev, just subscribe. Thank you very much. Yeah. So when we go to places like here, so for example, that coin here, last I checked, 2OC, whatever it's pronounced in English fully, have a value that should be worth $25. Yeah. So if we have here $25 divided by 500, so we see a value of 5 cents, and people scream, oh, that's too cheap. But the point is that everybody that wants just to get rid of their Pi and they want to cash it out in some way, they now don't, or it doesn't cost the people that believe in the project a lot of money to get all their Pi, because they only have to offer 5 cents, 20 cents, 25 cents, 3 cents per Pi. And the people that spend their Pi are happy because they got something for it. And it's a benefit for all the people that believe in Pi, because each of those transactions proves that Pi gets accepted as a currency. Like here, for example, Mercury1, which is one of the moderators of the regular Pi Network subreddit, sold a Starbucks gift card for $25 for 50 Pi. So, sorry, let's delete that, 25. So that's a value of 50 cents per Pi. And it didn't take days for somebody to say, I want to buy it, but he posted it, and within hours, somebody bought it, yeah? And yeah, here we have a watch with whatever, like 1,000 Pi with battery, a Pi with battery, and so on. There, PlayStation 5 for 3,000 Pi. Now, let's check. I'm going to check a German price comparison website, accept. PlayStation 5, that's that bundle here. So it's €569 for 3,000 Pi. So it's like 19 cents per Pi, yeah, and people scream that's too little. Like a year ago, Pi was not even a tradable cryptocurrency, and you got exactly, I mean, there was like the Pi lifestyle community where you could already spend it and so on, but you couldn't use it in an easy fashion. Now you can go to a place with a cryptocurrency that technically has no value because it's not listed, and you can say, oh, I actually would like the PlayStation 5, and you can text, in that case, Games for Pi, ask how much it is with shipping to your country, and then just pay 3,000 Pi. I know not many users have 3,000 Pi, but again, those people that didn't or don't believe in the project selected a zero lockup, and if they have been active long enough, they will have that amount available and are able to buy it. Yeah. And so that's one thing that I really wanted to cover in today's stream. The current low value of Pi is good because if you believe in the project, you can cheaply get more Pi coins. Like, look at home. If you have an old movie, old game for PlayStation, Xbox, or something like that, share, post it on the subreddit Local Pi or Games for Pi, and basically sell it to someone to get more Pi for a very cheap exchange rate. You do the people that buy it a favor because they can get rid of their Pi, which they what they so clearly want. You do Pi Network a favor because it's yet another transaction proving that Pi gets accepted as a currency, and you do yourself a favor because you accumulate more Pi if you believe in the project. Yeah. So whenever you right now see a low price transaction for paid with Pi, so where Pi is valued below whatever 50 cents, below $1, below whatever you think it's supposed to be worth, consider that right now we're in the phase where people that don't believe in the project want to dump their coins. So the lower the value right now is, the easier we get rid of all those people without spending a fortune, and the better the project will be off once the open mainnet launches. Because if every single pioneer, I'm going to switch back here, Quill, to the other scene. So if every single pioneer that wants to dump their coins does it right now for 1 cent, 5 cent, 20 cent, 50 cent per Pi coin, yeah, and then we reach the open mainnet with a lot of use cases outside from buying goods and services. So the webinar app and the NFT marketplace and other stuff like up and running and popular and with a lot of users that are active. Yeah. Then with the exchange listing, there will be more people that want to buy Pi coins than there will be people that are going to dump it, which means the price will go up. That's also why it's, in my opinion, good that we do not have the open mainnet yet, and why it's good if it takes longer, because it means there is more time to really develop use cases, and there's more time to give everyone that doesn't believe in the project, that it quickly wants to cash out, a chance to get rid of their Pi coins, which means transferring them to someone that believes in the project for a low rate. Yeah. Now, pausing here for a second, we're actually gonna, I'm gonna circle back and catch up with the chat. Already answered that. Running node in 2 PCs, different location. That actually, I'm not sure if it gets you an extra bonus. I'm just running one node on one of our PCs that I just recently actually reconfigured. Might make a separate video about that. So we'll see. Not about the node, but about the PC. So actually, the PC I'm using right now for streaming used to be the one that ran 24/7, but I built an energy-saving high-power setup, so that uses like half the electricity. So it's like 270 euros less in electricity per year. And basically runs the Pi Network node and a lot of bandwidth sharing apps and so on. Yeah. Apparently validating 1 million people a day. Well, I don't think that's happening, because with like last official numbers were 33 plus million users. So then we would already be done in a month. Yeah. Irina says driving license should be accepted. She made a KYZ video with the newer KYZ flow, so that if she says it, then it's gonna be accepted. So you're saying that since Pi Network uses a phone for customers to mine Pi KYZs, KYZ stops people from having 100 phones, for example, mining Pi. Yes, but it's not fully accurate, because there is no mining on mobile devices. So technically, you could mine on Android devices, but there's not a single app listed in the Play Store that does actual mining. So anything that calls itself a mining app does at best cloud mining. But with Pi, it's not even cloud mining, which is not bad. Yeah. So there's no, oh my God, it's not mining. It just means there is no mining. So it's just pushing a button. So you don't even need a real phone. You can use an emulator. And so KYZ is really the only safe way, because even if you say, okay, we're only going to allow one device per IP address, well, then scammers would just get VPNs to have different IP addresses. Yeah. And so on. So so KYZ is needed to ensure that basically each user can only have one account that they actually use. Yeah. So the IDs that get accepted probably vary by account, because for Nigeria, there are special kind of IDs and so on, as far as I know. Yeah. KYZ verification pending for 1 year. Check out the KYZ video I made. Passport is best ID. UK driving license is accepted. Good to know. So another confirmation. And yeah, but Passport, I think, is really the safest bet for KYZ. But other IDs will also get you through. It just might be that you're stuck for some time, as explained in the video I made about the KYZ issues. So go watch that. Yeah. Predicted value of Pi. yeah, might address that in a second or so. If I change phone number, what should I do? You cannot change your phone number, as far as I know. There's no process for that yet. Link your Facebook account, so you can use your Facebook account to log in and restore access. If you don't have a Facebook account, create a Facebook account just for that purpose. Yeah. What type of utility or real-world applications do you see or hope for Pi will eventually have in the future? Oh, that's a loaded question. Honestly, like, it's hard to say. Obviously, just buying and selling goods for Pi. Somebody subscribed. I didn't hear it. Sorry, I missed the message. Whoever it was, thank you very much. So just buying and selling goods for Pi, it's not something special, because that you can do, I don't know, if I use my high debit card, then I can actually spend with Ethereum and Bitcoin. One blessing. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah. So I can already pay in a store and actually pay with Bitcoin or Ethereum. So if Pi is just good to pay for goods and services, it's not something unique. Honestly, no idea what will be the thing that really sets it apart, but there are a lot of projects. If you check the, what's it called? I have to check in the Pi browser 1 second. So there's that one app that just is on the tip of my tongue, yeah. So where all the project proposals are. Brainstorm Pi, yeah. So there you see all the project ideas and so on, and where I can provide feedback. I basically vote on what you think is good and what you think is not good. So which are then created during the hackathons and after the hackathons. So if you just check the brainstorm.pi in the Pi browser also maybe once per week, and just leave your vote for the projects you think are good and downvote those that you think are complete garbage. And then those projects become a reality, and some of them might prove to be really a unique solution to something that then only works with Pi, and suddenly, voila, Pi has a super reason for existence. Yeah. Any news from Nicolas? Not that I know. Okay, now my chat just jumped somewhere. Okay, there we are. Rome wasn't built in a day, exactly, and also didn't burn down in a day, I think. So what is the price? Covered bartering is a lot more flexible than a fixed value would be. Definitely, yeah. But the problem is with bartering, still there are like so many people. Like, I make a video about like showing how you can literally use something that, again, officially doesn't have a value. Youth News, thanks for subscribing. To buy a $60 game for my Xbox, and then people are complaining about, oh, but the exchange rate is too low. Yeah, anyway, can't make everyone happy, but yeah, so I already shared why I think that a low value is good, so for now at least, yeah. Name corrections, well, yeah, like if you did a name correction, only minor name corrections are possible. So if your account said, I don't know, John Doe, but you want to change it to Maximilian something, then it will not go through. The name corrections will be considered during the KYC verification, and it's only for, in quotes, minor changes. If your name is completely different in your profile from what's in your official ID, then you will not get through KYC, and you can already basically just create a new account and just book that as one of the bad decisions you made for not paying attention to the 14-day window you had to actually make sure your name is right. Yeah. What to do to not use, already said. So if you, yeah, like already answered that, just link your Facebook account. Yeah, I forgot. So Irina shared a link, and I'm going to actually open it up real quick here on my end. Yeah, go to site and share with you. So like there are 2 steps. Yeah, so Irina actually shared the wrong link here. So the first link is yeah, like first you need a Koinly account. So that's the whole thing, but it's free, and that you can get by, I'm going to share the link in a second. Yeah, different, so that should be the right link for that. Yeah. So yeah, so send that. So I'm sharing the link now, and again, I'm gonna cover in a second what it is about and whatnot. Yeah, so blah blah blah. So Koinly is a software that we and many others are using to basically keep track of crypto transactions, but also to where's that link now? Here, to also prepare. Not back to YouTube. I'm an idiot. Let's, third time is a charm. To also file our yearly taxes about the crypto transactions, yeah? And it's needed, or its benefit is like it integrates with pretty much almost every blockchain you can think of, yeah? Now, the problem with Pi Network is, so currently it doesn't integrate with any service, and if you live in a country that right now requires you to file taxes on your crypto transactions, or that might require you to file taxes on the transactions in the future, then you need an integration, which honestly is quite embarrassing that Pi Network has more than 33 million users, But my request here to add support for Pi Network's blockchain at Koinly, which again is, in my opinion, the best crypto accounting solution thing out there. I'll make a video about it separately at some point. Has only 13 votes. Yeah. So if you want to do something good for spreading the support of Pi Network and making it easier for people to keep track of their Pi Network transactions and file their taxes in the future, if that's something they have to do in their country, use the link I just shared, create your free account. Again, it doesn't cost anything. So to be more precise, you can use Koinly for free for up to 10,000 transactions, or if you need a tax report. If you just use it to keep track of your crypto transactions, so you see how much you're holding, how much you profit you made or you lost and so on, it's free. And when you then need your crypto tax report for the year, if you need it, then you can get it from them and they charge you a fee depending on the amount of transactions. But just to add your support here so that Koinly actually jumps onto Pi Network and adds the integration, you don't have to pay anything, and you would do every pioneer that lives in a country with taxes on crypto a huge favor. So please go ahead and do that. If you don't do it now, then please just check for the link later. So as said, create a free Koinly account and then go to the second link that Irina can share again and just hit the thumbs up button here, yeah, or vote up button, blah, blah, blah. Chinese, yeah, I can see Chinese, can just not read it. That's what a free market is all about, having the freedom to buy and sell based on a personal preference and choice. If Pi Network provides a good service, exactly, yeah, exactly. But yeah, and that's also like right now, where more people, or where there are still people that want to dump their Pi coins, they basically are willing to accept a low rate, which means everybody that accepts Pi coins can also list their items for a low exchange rate, and it works out. And supply and demand just hold the balance. Eventually, most people that want to sell their Pi coins will have sold them, or not sold, but used them to buy PlayStation games or watches or whatever is listed. And then there will only be people that value their Pi coins more. And then the people that are selling their products will have to improve the exchange rate to get the people that have the Pi interested in spending them. Yeah. Tim should open mainnet for us who passed KYC. The mainnet is already open. We covered that. If you joined late for the stream, maybe just start from the beginning or so. Yeah. Where can I find this page? Not sure which. Yeah, local Pi. We already shared it. Yeah. What's the relationship between Pi and Pi phone of Elon? There is no relationship. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. In China, I believe 7/Pi more. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it will come down to like a global consensus, and like the consensus that has been shared on Twitter of like $314,000 per Pi or so just ain't happening. Yeah. Like, I mean, the thing again is like that. I would love for Pi to be worth 314,000 because I would then, in the worst case, still be a billionaire or so. But everyone would love to see that value, or 10,000 or whatever. But show me a single user out there that is willing to accept Pi. So to actually give me something like a bar of gold or a new car for that exchange rate. Yeah. Like I don't think there's a single person or business out there that does it. Yeah. So, and if they are, then they are not good in terms of business, because there's proof that there are so many vendors that use way lower exchange rates than thousands of dollars that still get enough customers. So yeah, blah, blah, blah. What is the current price of Pi? I think I answered that one a couple of times already. You look like my high school host family son. Yeah. Coincidence, I guess. Yeah. Like I think we all have our twins out there. I mean, there are 8 billion people on the planet. Yeah, definitely. We have, each of us has a couple of lookalikes. Yeah. Is it worth to buy Pi? You're not allowed to buy Pi. So buying Pi just risks losing all your Pi. I saw a report that they were doing about 8,000 KYZ per day, which is true. Yeah, so like 8,000 sounds reasonable. I didn't see any official number. I'm sure they shared it somewhere. I just didn't see it. It's so hard to keep up with every piece of news that gets shared. But 8,000 seems like reasonable, yeah. I'm in a queue to mainnet. Congratulations. Everyone should click the thumbs up to spread the word of this channel. Yeah, that as well, yeah. Please share whatever, videos, live streams, subscribe. I'm really working hard to reaching the 100,000 subscriber mark. Doesn't cost you anything, but really helps me a lot. So love you guys. Yeah, love goes back here. KYZ verification. Yeah, so for KYZ issues, again, the reminder, check out one of my latest videos. It's called Pi KYZ issues, or Pi Network KYZ issues, answered all that. Yeah. Hackathon and brainstorm, blah, blah, blah. The price of Pi will be Pi. Yeah, that will be fitting. Oh, I'm almost caught up with the chat. Oh my God, yeah. I'm a validator in the US. Sadly, I have only had the opportunity to validate 3 people today and 8 people yesterday. I'm more than happy to validate real pioneers. Yeah. Keep in mind that the validation that you do as a validator is not the KYC verification. It's basically you are confirming this is the right type of ID, and the person in the liveness check actually matches the person in the picture. But the actual KYC verification, so the name and stuff on the ID that you as a validator cannot see because it's blacked out, is happening by an AI. So yeah. So even if you would want to do more, the backlog is with the AI. So how many thousands of entries that thing can process per day. And yeah, like, so the validators are basically, as far as I understand it, the validators are kind of like a second layer or a first layer. Either they happen before the AI gets to see the thing or after. Yeah. Lots of topic getting covered. Yeah, doesn't mean if I couldn't change my name, I should forget about my Pi account. Depending on how different your name is. So if you check your profile, what does the name say there? If it says Julia Roberts, but your name is John Doe, then it will not work out with name change. Yeah. So because then it's more likely that you actually bought the account from someone else. And then sadly, it's probably the smarter choice to just log out of that account, create a new one, and make sure you use the right name in the first place, which might be tricky considering that you might need a different phone number or use a Facebook account if you haven't linked it. So, but point is, I mean, before you all go ahead and close your accounts now because your name doesn't match, yeah. So as mentioned, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. Go to reddit.com and there to the Pi Network subreddit, so which is reddit.com/r/Pi Network, and then just ask it there. Yeah. But from my understanding, the name appeal process and name changes only apply to minor things. Like if you, I don't know, my name is Christian Rauchenwald, but I might have written as first name Chris, and instead of my full last name, maybe just a part of it or so, then the name appeal would go through because it's clearly that it was just me writing my nickname instead of my full name, and it still matches. Yeah. Or having one typo in the name or something like that definitely goes through an appeal. But again, if my name in the profile is completely different from the name in my ID, well, then it looks like you just bought the account from somewhere else, maybe. Yeah. And then there is, yeah, like not much chance, in my opinion, to go through. Yeah. Human validators isn't the bottleneck. They want to be, yep, exactly. By the way, both links are also in the description of the stream. Yeah. So far, the Koinly thing, where again, let's see if you are like listening. We were still 13 votes. Like, guys, really, this is something that helps every single Pi network user, because Koinly has, I don't know how many thousands of users that are all actively trading and using cryptocurrency. If they see there is a new blockchain supported and Koinly shares maybe on their Twitter, hey, we now also have the Pi network integration, those people will also then explore and learn more about Pi network. So it really like takes, I don't know, like 2 minutes probably to create your Koinly account and then go to that link and just hit that button here to show that you are a Koinly user, even if you are not paying them, but you are a Koinly user and you want the support for Pi Network's blockchain added. So like if you want to see Pi Network succeed and you're too lazy to basically put in those 2 minutes work, then I don't know what to say. Yeah, but so please take care of this. Like it helps everyone in so many ways, and it helps the whole project of Pi Network. And it's really, really, yeah, like embarrassing, 33 million users, and then on one of the most popular crypto accounting integrations that again is free unless you use it for tax reports or have more than 10,000 transactions, only 13 votes that want to see a Pi network integration. Yeah, that also shows you just how little, even with 33 million users, how little or how few people actually know about Pi network and how much further the network can grow. Yeah. Yeah, so switching back, continuing with the chat real quick. It's also good people are bartering on the average 20 to 15 cents. I also think it's like a great starting value, like right now. And even if it's 15 cents, 19 cents, 22 cents per Pi, I mean, there are a lot of cryptocurrencies out there. If we look at High Dollar, for example, that has a partnership with MasterCard, that has their own crypto debit cards, that has their banking partnerships to offer IBAN accounts, and a lot more, yeah. And their value right now is 1.2 cents per high. Yeah. So with a lower supply as well. So overall, like the current value that's used, bartering is already really, really a great starting point, considering that the current use case is limited to, okay, you give me something and I give you Pi, and there's no cashback products or debit cards tied to it or so. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, $100 per Pi would obviously also be awesome. Yeah, thank you. Pay mainnet use. We are already on a mainnet, so getting to 3 years now on Pi Network, but still have not been giving KYC chance. Yeah, don't lose patience. Just once per week, check kyz.pi in the Pi browser until you get it. Yeah, so close to the full name, not going to be a problem. Hi, Mark. Hi, Osanion. Oh, cannot pronounce it. Christiana. Okay, that I can, yeah. Hi, everyone else I didn't greet, yeah. What would Pi be worth? Yeah, like that depends on what the majority of people values it. I have 3 names, but when I'm opening my account, put 2 names, not knowing is going to be important. So now I can pass my... if you put 2 right names and your middle name is missing or so, I'm not honestly not 100% sure. I think you should go through. But again, as said before, in that case, reddit.com/r/Pi network, and then use the search there for, I don't know, just enter that and name. Also works on the phone. There is an app, yeah. Yeah, and then just, if there's no post that already has your answer, then just create your own post and ask your question about your specific situation, what kind of name you entered, what's on your ID, and then some people there that know the things that I don't know will tell you if you have something to worry about or not. Yeah. Pi Day is trending in Twitter. That's a little bit tricky because Twitter trends, and actually, switching back again. So if we go to twitter.com, Twitter trends are depending on where's my login, accept cookies, depending on your location and other things. So for example, you see here in Germany, no Pi Day, yeah, not now, no Pi Day. And when I log in, that might change. Which one is it? That one, Twitter. By the way, another thing, so like not an affiliate or something like that, so it's really just something I love. We're using 1Password, so if you're worried about security or so, like take a look. Like it's not free, so they have like family plans for a couple of dollars per month, but it's really a great password manager that integrates with like Mac, Windows, Android, iOS, and so on. So you have all your passwords and everything in one place. It also handles, as you saw, the 2-factor authentication, and does a lot more. And it's like $3 per month, well invested. So for example, if you wonder where to store the mnemonic phrase, so the phrase that you get when you create your Pi wallet, 1Password is a good place to do it. And also for other information that you want to store securely. But yeah, just wanted to throw that in, skip for now. And then here, so if I'm logged in, it still keeps the German trends and no Pi Day. So yeah, it's really localized and depends also on your own behavior. So yeah, and in case you're wondering and you haven't noticed, that's by the way the desk I'm sitting at right now. So the new streaming setup that I built the last couple of days, recycling our old editing PC for that. And yeah, but circling back to the chat. So has it been launched? We're already on the mainnet for more than half a year. Yes, at a low approximate trading value, a person could accumulate a whole lot of Pi through trade. Yeah, definitely. So if right now somebody, Hardcore All, thanks for subscribing. If right now somebody would want to accumulate more Pi, then like literally I might, I don't know, like list an old display that I'm not using anymore. Instead of selling it on eBay for 20 euro, I might just sell it for a couple hundred Pi or so. Yeah, just shipping might be tricky, but right now is the Pi, not the Pi. Right now is the time, if you believe in Pi networks, to accumulate by just whatever you have at home that's just collecting dust. Like share it on, where do we have it? Like local Pi. If it's a game or a game console, there are like 2 games for Pi subreddits. One is written games for Pi with the word, and the other one is written with the number. So games and then a number for Pi. And there you can also post it. So, and just then, I forgot to share the screen for that. Yeah, so like that's games for Pi, and the other one is, as you see, games for Pi. And yeah, just sell stuff and get more Pi if you believe in the project. Or if you don't believe in the project, look for stuff that you want to buy and basically get some things that make you happy and help the people that actually believe in Pi, like those sellers here, to accumulate more. Yeah. I thought I heard today is the day they will launch Pi Network. Pi Network is already launched on the mainnet. Like really, I shared it. Where's my playlist? Okay, so again, copy, clean link. If you are completely confused about Pi Network or new to Pi Network, like make this your, instead of watching some TV show on Netflix, watch the entire playlist. Like the videos should be in the order I released them, which means it starts with older videos that might contain outdated information, but as you go, there are newer videos that then clarify that, and you will know everything there is about Pi Network. Yeah. My daughter has been given KYC slot, but not yet. Just don't submit KYC yet. There will be there is supposed to be a consent KYC solution where you as a parent will then provide the consent for her to submit KYC. She can still keep mining, and there's right now nothing to worry about. So she can just ignore that. Yeah. Greetings from Bulgaria. Thank you. Greetings back from Germany. Do you have any information about Pi? Yeah, like a listing on Binance costs more than $1 million. So like I wouldn't hope for that. And first we would actually have to reach the open mainnet. So right now we're still on the enclosed mainnet. Covered that in the beginning of the stream. So yeah, like, yeah. Aren't they just using us to make money from watching ads whenever we start mining? Like, do you know how many people are working at Pi, so in the Pi core team? I don't know the exact number, but they have to live off something. And if you have any experience with like hosting any kind of web project that has like thousands of users, so we have a software business with a couple thousands of users, and we spend $1,000 just for web servers every month. Yeah. Pi Network has 33 million users. Of course, it's a different use case, but so the advertising revenue is pretty much just there to cover the expenses for switching again, cover the expenses that they have. Yeah, I doubt there is any profit at all, and I actually think that they still have to use investors' money to cover the difference. So yeah. I've been with Pi since the beginning, and I'm starting to feel like it's a pyramid scheme. What's your input? My input there, it might sound harsh, is that you just didn't bother to do any research, because if you just, I don't know, watch my Who's Behind Pi Network video, and that will provide you with a lot of answers. Google what's the definition of a pyramid scheme, and you will notice that anything where you do not invest any money can by definition not be a pyramid scheme. Look up my latest videos that show, I'm actually going to share it with you. So channel content videos. So actually go the other way. Like, so the way it will, how it will look for you. Do we have YouTube open somewhere? No, we don't. Again, it goes to the studio, but go there in a second. Done. Okay, let's go to it again. Channel. So, and videos, and there you see me paying Hogwarts Legacy with PiCoin, or buying Hogwarts Legacy with PiCoins, me buying Elden Ring with PiCoins. And if you go to like here, somebody bought a power bank from, there should also be a picture somewhere of it, yeah. So somebody bought a power bank from Pi Chain Mall with Pi, and then that's not all, like somebody bought a $25 gift card with Pi. Here, $25 worth of silver sold for, I think, 300 Pi in the end or so. Yeah, there's another successful barter on the Pi Chain Mall for a used MacBook for 450 Pi. So yeah, like if you do some research, you'll see just why like your question is kind of like obsolete. But yeah, so moving on. I have my name in English correctly, but the local name does not match. What about that, please? Honestly, no idea. Reddit.com/r/Pi Network. Ask that there. There might be some people that can clarify that, or some that already passed KYC. If you apply with an international passport, it should work, because there your name is also written in English. Yeah. I passed KYC, but my Pi is not migrated. Same answer as so often. Just be patient. It will happen. Price of Pi. Yeah, just pay attention. When will they open? Covered that earlier. What would be the incentive for those who only have close to 1,000 Pi if it's valued around a few cents? Yeah, like think back. I mean, Bitcoin and Pi are completely different, but if you probably know, the first transaction that was made with Bitcoin and documented was some guy paying 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. So that guy basically, again, I'm going to open up calculator, screen share. let's say 2 pizzas would be $20. So that's the value that that guy got for his Bitcoin back then. Yeah. And now look at Bitcoin today. Again, Pi and Bitcoin are different, but if you don't understand why it's important, or you have to understand that it's important to first establish use cases. And if there is no use cases, people will not value it. Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why we are right now having a lower value. And as more use cases are there, demand for Pi network or Pi coins rises, which means the price also goes up. Yeah. So, so the incentive is understanding what Pi network is aiming to do and seeing the progress that's already been made. It might seem like slow progress because we're already looking at it for a couple of years. But if you see what they actually did, there are so many other projects out there that are similar to Pi network that pretty much just with like this created a new token on the Ethereum blockchain, or created a new token on the whatever Tron blockchain or Binance Smart Chain. Pi network built their actual version of or forked the entire Stellar blockchain to create their own blockchain. So just that is like so much different in effort. And yeah, like if you see what they've already accomplished and where we already got from an app where you push a button without anything else around it to actual having like potentially hundreds of transactions already happening every day paid with Pi, you should automatically have a positive outlook. Yeah. But if not, then, if people don't believe in the project, they can just use their Pi at the current exchange rates that are used in the most places and uninstall the app after that. And it's going to be good for everyone that believes in the project. So it's like, yeah. Koinly voted to 14. Trevor Sides, you are officially my hero. I'm actually going to double check that. Yeah. We're actually at 14. I mean, on one hand, I'm proud that somebody actually votes and so goes through that 3 minutes of effort to do something that will help every pioneer and help spread the word. On the other hand, sad that we have, I don't know, like 100 people watching or so, and there's one person that is willing to go through the effort. Thank you very much for doing that. Yeah. Is there any solution for us to submit KYZs? Because it's been a year now and my KYC is still pending. Check out the video I made that's called KYZ Issues. What we got in this Pi Day, there is nothing you got on this Pi Day. It's not like a birthday or something. It's just a day that happens to be called Pi Day because it's the 14th of March, and written the American way, it would be 3.14. Yeah. So I don't know why people expect to get something for Pi Day. But yeah, there's nothing you get for Pi Day. You get to watch me right now, apparently, but that's it. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, sweetie, for sharing the KYC video. Do you have a video on how to be a validator? No, because that process, after you pass KYC, you will be asked if you want to be one. Then you go through a tutorial, and that's pretty much it. But I'm not allowed to record any of that process because it would risk getting my entire account banned. So that's why there is no video. Yeah. There's an official Pi moderator in the Pi Reddit Christian is mentioning, but like most Pi moderators, he doesn't have much patience. Well, to be fair, it's like the same. I used to respond to, I'm actually going to share it real quick and going to have to search because on this computer I will not have it already bookmarked. So Pi Network, or actually Google knows the answer. So Pi Network, Reddit, there. So there's a post called Abide by the Rules that points out that during the enclosed mainnet, it's whatever, transactions, so selling and buying Pi for fiat or cryptocurrency is prohibited. Yeah. And I used to go through the effort every time somebody on my channel, I want to sell my Pi, how can I sell my Pi, and so on, where to sell Pi, to just share that link with them to please read it. But I also got tired of it. If people are too lazy to pay attention to the notifications that they confirm and so on, yeah, at some point, I rather focus on answering real questions and people that just ask how to sell, where to sell, and so on. I just mute them from the channel because why bother? Like, if people just want to have a payout and are too lazy to invest 30 seconds of their time to do some research, then yeah, I'm not going to waste my time with them either. And so I can understand why people in the Pi network chat, or moderators especially, also don't have much patience for questions that have been answered 100 times already. Yeah, like to drive that point home. Yeah, so to actually show you how bad it is, which you don't think if you're not on this end of the table. If we look at my videos about Pi Network, you can see one where I covered back then the Pi lifestyle community that back then 2 years ago already allowed using Pi coins at a value of 1 Pi is $100. That video has 740,000 views, yeah, because it's obviously something people want to see, and yeah, like great. But right behind that comes the video, which I also published, that's already 3 or 2.5 years ago, withdraw your Pi coins. And I made that video because back then in the chat, every second or third message was, how can I withdraw? How can I withdraw? So I made a video specifically to explain you cannot withdraw and point out why it's important to not be able to withdraw now and why you still should use the app. But you can see that this video has 600,000 views. So it's my second most viewed video about Pi Network because the majority of people was too lazy to pay even a minute of attention to learn about the project and what they are signing up for. Yeah. So, and that's why it doesn't matter if it's content creators like me or moderators or just active users just don't have patience or a lot of patience for simple questions that have been answered a million times and that could be answered by people on their own if they would just bother to read a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. This project is taking too long, no KYC up till now. What's going on? Please watch my latest video, which is called like KYC issues or so. Actually, I'm going to tell you exactly how it's called. It's called Pi Network, why your KYC might be stuck and what to do about it. Yeah, that answers that question specifically. Didn't get my available balance. You just have to have patience. It will be eventually migrated. I'm using an international passport, but still can't even get an option to resubmit my KYC. Also, same video. So Pi Network, why your KYC might be stuck. If you enter that in the YouTube search, you should find it. If not, just enter my name. Additionally, so Christian Rauchenwald, Pi Network, why your KYC might be stuck. And that video will answer that question. When is Pi going to be traded on exchange? Once we reach the open mainnet. When that will be covered early in the stream, so just circle back. Jay Shankar, congrats on being part of Pi Network for 3 years already. Yeah, like don't lose patience. Just once per week in the Pi browser, check the kyz.pi app. Ivor Headache. Hi, Christian. I hope you're well. It's 6 p.m. here. I've been waiting for news all day. It's a very exciting day. Let's hope for some exceptional on the project. I don't expect any news today, and I don't mind if there is no specific news today, to be honest. Like, I mean, as covered throughout the stream, the project has made a lot of progress throughout this time, through the last 3 years or 4 years almost now. And if there is like no announcement today, it really doesn't change a lot for me. Yeah. But yeah, it almost became a troll, those kind of questions. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's, yeah, like sad, but true. Yeah. Anyway, so, was there anything else I really wanted to cover today? So I wanted to answer your questions, which I did, and I wanted to share some information about the price and proof of transactions, which I also did. Yeah, so I think I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to share whatever questions you still have left, and other than that, we'll call it a day, so I can actually grab my dinner. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button if you haven't yet. I'll probably do a few more live streams in the future. Now that I have this, I'm going to brag a little bit again. And show off, yeah, or not show off. Now that I have my new streaming corner finally ready, and it's kind of like really looking nice. I really like it. Although to be fair, I really reused all of hardware that we had already existing over the years, so didn't spend a fortune on that. And yeah, so there will be more streams to come in the future, so don't forget to subscribe. Pi Wales is giving out misleading information. Is that a YouTube channel or a Twitter account? Yeah. To be fair, there's a lot of misleading information. And I said earlier, I don't know everything either. So there might be 1 or 2 things that I got wrong during the stream. And if so, I'm sorry, please correct me if that's the case. So if it's really an important question like your name, for example, or name change or stuff like that, double check. So whatever I'm saying, bother and check the Pi Network subreddit, for example, or the chat in the Pi app, to get confirmation for what I said, to be really sure, because like we're all human, everybody makes mistakes, or considering everything that's been going on, there is the chance to just like mix up certain pieces of information by accident. So always double check your information. Yeah. Open mainnet today. Nope. Already covered it earlier. Yeah, like thanks for everyone that's tuned in so far. Like honestly, like wouldn't be much of a life without all of you guys showing up. And yeah, I hope to see you guys more. Also, like one last thing that I want to throw in for my sake and for your sake, actually gonna switch screens. Here we go. Like I know that most guys of you are only into Pi Network, yeah. And I know that because if we check the videos, we can see that a Pi Network video has, for example, 5,000 views here, which is the KYZ video, by the way, that you should check out if you still have questions about KYZ. Whereas a video that shows how you can guaranteed worldwide make between $60 and $120 extra every year only has half the views, yeah? So yeah, like I really recommend hit the subscribe button, enable that damn notification bell, and don't only focus on the Pi Network content because you're missing out. Like here is like at least $60 to $120 per year that you can definitely guaranteed get no matter where you are. If you have a Windows computer, that's the restriction for that one. But yeah, there's a video covering the cashback cards from Hi, which are really, really great. And with the low value of Hi right now, really ridiculously cheap to get in Europe. So the international cards for other nations and countries and so on are still to come in the future. Yeah, like blah, blah, blah. How do we, it's not doing them in the right order. Okay, let's jump here, yeah. In general, the whole new to this YouTube channel playlist or the passive income or bandwidth sharing app playlist, full of videos that actually help you make extra money. Like Honeygain users on average make between $100 and $150 per year just from running the app on the background or in the background on their phone. So that's an extra 100. It might be less in some country because it's called average, so worldwide average. Yeah, some countries people might make $200, and in other countries they might end up making 20 per year. But combining all those bandwidth sharing apps, or so, if you have like a spare phone to run them on, or if you want to run them on your main phone, or a spare computer to run them on, it brings you $100, $200, $300 extra per year. So don't just focus on one project, but diversify. So like Pi Network actually made a lot of progress. A lot of the bandwidth sharing apps that I've reviewed over the years didn't. So B Network still also made some progress, but nothing in the way Pi Network did. On the other hand, some of the projects that I didn't believe will make any progress actually suddenly trade on their own exchange, like Alpha Network. Yeah. So don't just focus on the one thing, but make sure to check out other things as well. I'm not mad if you don't watch every video, but you're really missing out on some of the things there. So yeah, diversify a little bit. Anyway, we didn't have any more questions, did we? Thank you all so everybody, thank you that thanked me for the content and so on. I also enjoyed a lot. Can't gain access to my wallet, can't create a new, it tells me invalid. Well, yeah, short answer there. If you didn't complete the mainnet checklist yet, you might just create a new wallet instead and verify that in the mainnet checklist. If you did already do that, or even better, in both cases, just go to there, reddit.com/r/Pi Network, and then in the bar, enter invalid. Yeah, invalid should be enough. Passphrase for wallet says invalid passphrase, blah, 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 and read through the comments in those posts because they will contain the help that you need. 2.5 years now, but haven't invited for KYZ. How can I get invited? Just be patient and check once per week kyz.pi in the Pi browser app. Yeah, that's it. Since there are no more real questions, and we already are way above an hour here. Yeah, everyone, a happy Pi Day. Check out some of the things we looked at today in the stream. So like the subreddits where there are already transactions going on. Don't forget to put in the 3 minutes effort to vote on Koinly for the Koinly support for Pi Network's blockchain. And in general, just pay attention to the notifications. Be patient if something doesn't move as fast as you want it. And don't forget to, even though Pi Network is making great progress and they really delivered a lot, but look into other projects as well. That doesn't have to be the same kind of thing like with cryptocurrency. But as I said, for example, bandwidth sharing apps are really, really a great resource for making a couple, yeah, like let's say $100 extra per year, $200 extra per year, really depends on where you live and so on. But check those things out as well. It's extra money that you get for pretty much just installing an app and then having it run in the background. Like couldn't be more passive than that, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm gonna hit the stop stream button now. So see you guys all in one of my other videos, or hopefully one of my other live streams. So till then, and happy Pi Day.